Player card is a powerful form for getting detailed information about the players. It is mostly used as an information center to be applied in decision-making, especially for the requests from the players such as hotel reservations, flight tickets, complimentary, etc. When you first access the screen, you will be notified for the days of the players to remember, as birthdays and wedding anniversaries in the coming 3 days. When I call a name with player ID or name, I reach lots of information immediately. Contact information, such as telephone numbers, email addresses, etc. Users can be authorized from User Rights panel to access or modify this information in detail. Names History button is used as a history of the names lately accessed, as well as a quick return to them. ID Cards button is used for registering and printing slot cashless cards or any kind of membership cards for the players. Documents button is used to store any kind of documents digitally. Clicked or unclicked position of the boxes inform users for the missing days to remember information of the picked player. By clicking on Add Data button, users can easily access to data process form in order to add missing data or modify the existing. If the user is authorized from the user rights form for blacklisting process, then the blacklist button becomes available to proceed. Required information is that process is requested by category and explanation. Unlimited number of categories can be added and customized as the management prefers. Let's make an example and register our sample player as Casino Blacklist. Once the player has been added to Blacklist, this information is automatically shared to all system users and can be monitored in real time on both live game and slot machines. Similarly, in case of any blacklist to be removed, same procedure is followed. All the blacklist process can be monitored at any time via blacklist logs. Letter D, shown in black box as class by system, is the rank of the player calculated automatically according to given ranges by using total theoretical loss of the player, both on live game and slot machines. There are 2 different kind of classifications for 2 different segments. First one is, generally called as junket players or guest players, cost casino and the means of hosting such as flight ticket, hotel accommodation, etc. And the other one is, generally called, walk-in players or local players, those have no cost to casino. Most of the gaming conditions can be quite different for each segment of players. So, naturally, different levels of theoretical losses may be expected. In other words, same class may not have the same meaning for both segments. In some situations, management may disagree with the automatically generated class and assign a higher or level rank to some particular players for some reasons. In that kind of situations, an authorized user can assign any level of class to any player by picking up the class from the list and clicking Assign button. In this case, management's evaluation will be shown in another box. Manually assigned classification can be cancelled or changed any time, and all the changes done can be tracked from the log's history. Hosting info notes are generally typed for sharing information about the hosting of the players. This information can be in the form of instructions from management to reservation staff or a kind of dashboard about the player's special requests. New notes can be added and existing notes can only be removed by note owner or special authorization. Friends part is used as a reminder for players' gaming network and mostly used for marketing purposes. By double-clicking on Friends list, you can simply pick any name and trigger the page for the picked one. Invitations and answers to invitations can be tracked from Notes and Dialogues part. It will also be a marketing report to management. Here, just like the hosting info notes, only the owner can delete the note. Reservations part will give you very clear report of each hosted period of the player in row. Please notice that all figures are calculated on reservation period base and misguidance of daily figures are avoided. Via this report, you can see all result of the player as a total of live game and slot machines, given discount and complimentary, accumulated theoretical loss and hosting costs in rows as reservation period totals. Besides, system automatically generates the calculated class of each visit and reports in shades of red, from dark to light. So you can see the differentiation in game volume of the player in time. When you move the mouse on column headers, you will see the short definition of each column. Each row represents each reservation period of the player. Figures such as actual and theoretical loss, hosting costs, category history, the class of the player in timeline, and etc. gives you the information for player for the question, what happened in the past? Clear answer to that question is shown on the screen, comes together with management and/or hosting info notes, so decision making for future requests would be quite easier. And below, you can see the daily figures belong to dates without reservations and hosting expenses. Double-clicking on any reservation row gives quick access to win-loss report of the player, namely, in-out report for selected name. Dates are picked as check-in and check-out dates and report is generated automatically. Please refer to win-loss reports and discount process video for detailed information about this screen. Let's have a look at the user rights regarding to player card form. Users or groups can be authorized for assign class to players, print cashless player cards, see hotel reservations, see player results, and manage blacklist process separately. In addition, there is a customized authentication especially for contacts that requires separate password to access. With this separate form, you can give users authorization for enter new data, or can only see the data for self-process, or full access, or delete. If the user is authorized to see player results, an icon will be available on the left corner for a general look to the player. When you click this icon, a panel will arise as aligned to left side and will always be seen as fixed. Also, another button will be seen on the right side of the icon with an arrow on it. The eye panel, stuck on the left side, will always be seen even if you navigate to other pages, or close them. The function of this arrow button that is pointing out the eye icon is to activate the automatic search in the panel with the name that user call from another form. When the arrow button disabled, any call from other forms will not trigger iPanel search and user will be able to keep a player as fixed. As the iPanel is an overview to any player from different points, users will be able to keep that overview on the screen, even if they dig into the details from the other forms, both for the same player or any other players. Let's pick the same player for both reports and then have a look to iPanel, what kind of information we can see as general picture. First part gives information about the hotel stays and the visits of the player to casino. Accumulated gaming history graphic is a very meaningful report and explains almost everything about the player's profile. Unlike the reports from the figures, you can see not only the final figures, but also the full history of the player in timeline and have an idea about the volatility of the player's game style. List view is accumulated flow of gaming history together with all transaction totals regarding casino's revenue from the player, and you can see the figures, those are not illustrated on the chart view. Here, no gaming statement represents the date of the days with transactions, those are out of the gaming days and to be charged to players' gaming figures, such as hosting expenses, credit collections, and/or discounts. Under the gaming figures title, you can see the total of all actual figures as drop and result for live game, slot machines, and as total of both. You can also see the details of the figures on the right side with the corresponding colors. Turnover data for live game is generated from the time played and average bet of the player. And turnover data for slot machines directly transferred from slot online system with 100% accuracy. Discount and complimentary for gaming comes from the cage system and deducted from the total loss of the player. Outstanding credits value comes from the cage system too and deducted from the remaining value to figure out net cash win or loss of the player. On casino win part, hosting expenses that come from reservation system are deducted from net cash value to figure out net win or loss of casino from the player. In some cases, roommates can be serious players too. As their expenses are included in main players' hosting expenses, contribution of roommates is also reported to be considered or not. In case, names can be seen by clicking on roommates button. Occasionally, some of the high-class players may ask to bring guests with them. Those names are registered as the guest of the main player in the reservation system and shown in another color for information. As they also have hosting expenses, they can be players as well. Last part is a report of the guests of the main player in the means of results and expenses. You can see the number of the guests on the title, and then you can click on it to see the names together with the classes generated by the system or the classes assigned by management. Player card form has also very flexible structure that parts of the form can be resized depending on the needs of the users. That was all for the Casino Assists player card. Thanks for watching.